Message from Sunnah followers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab, wear your beards, be proud of your beards. Stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Saleh. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of Allah, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is SunnahFollowers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
If you want to learn about how to balance and maintain your faith every day, you need to be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, being taught by Laila Nasheeba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel SunnahFollowers. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming, tuning into the SunnahFollowers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing sadaqah jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the conference, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at, right here on SunnahFollowers. Don't forget, donate right here to SunnahFollowers and dollars at Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deen and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is sadaqah jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free, and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the SunnahFollowers.net website, pressing the Donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen, guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, sadaqah jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment. Oh yeah, and don't forget to join us in the 24-hour Zoom room for behind-the-scenes access. Surat Ibrahim, planting the Tree of Tawheed, a Maqasidic insight by Dr. Karim Abuzaid. Join us on Saturdays and Sundays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Laila Nasheeba, streaming on all major platforms. Channel SunnahFollowers.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Maqasidic Tafsir class. And this is the class whereas we are studying from the book entitled The Maqasidic Tafsir of Surat Ibrahim. This is a book written by Dr. Karim Abuzaid that focuses in on helping you to understand and implement the the chapter of the Quran known as the chapter of Ibrahim. And this is a very potent chapter of the Quran, and what makes it so potent is it addresses how to plant the tree of Tawheed into your heart. And we've been speaking about how to plant the tree of Tawheed within our heart. We talked about the seed, how to first of all purify the soil of the heart by freeing it of all those evil emotions of the heart, such as loneliness, depression, anxiety, jealousy, and all of that. We have to purify the soil of the heart and then plant the seed of Tawheed. And the seed of Tawheed is planted with the words of La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, the testimony of faith. That statement of La ilaha illallah is what plants the seed of Tawheed. And then once the roots take form, we nourish the roots with knowledge of Allah. That's why it's important for you to seek the correct knowledge and understanding of this way of life. Knowledge of Allah, knowledge of his books, his prophets, his angels, knowledge of the day of judgment, knowledge of what happens on the day of judgment, knowledge of how there is no power, there is no might other than Allah, knowledge of Allah's names, his attributes, knowledge of his decree, and all of that. Then you have to take the time to learn what those obligations are that we owe to Allah, the pillars of faith, the prayers, and what's expected of us, what our obligations are to Allah, to the Prophet Muhammad, and to each other and this religion of Islam. Then we have to know how to show our allegiance to Allah, how to show our allegiance to the Prophet, to each other, to the Quran, to the religion of Islam. That's al-wala, wal-bara, and all of that. That's how we keep the roots of our tree of Tawheed nourished. And then the trunk will begin to grow. And we keep on nourishing that trunk until the fruit of our tree begins to appear. And the fruit of the tree, represents our character. Whereas the trunk is our actions, our behaviors, what we have nourished the roots based on the foundations of this religion. Will show through our actions. The trunk will continue to grow taller, stand higher and stronger and firmer, and be able to weather the storm based on the foundations of what we nourish the roots with. The fruit represents our character. Well, so now today we're going to go over steps 6 and 7, how to keep that tree nourished, how to continue to nourish the roots of our tree of Tawheed so that it can weather the storms. It can withstand the rain, the storms, the heavy winds that come its way. It can withstand the droughts that may come. It can withstand the abuses of man, the pollutants that man leaves on earth. So that it can still, as it dies, it can grow back. The leaves can come back. The fruit can come back. So that's what we're going to speak about today. So for those of you who are not on YouTube, make sure that you open up a tab on your cell phone to YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel, which is channel SunnahFollowers. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel, channel SunnahFollowers. Type SunnahFollowers, all one word, channel SunnahFollowers, and click on my live stream. So you will be able to, inshallah, see the PowerPoint that I am getting ready to put on the screen here. Everybody on YouTube, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. You should be able to see the PowerPoint now. Here it is. And by the way, this is a picture of the book, this masterpiece that Dr. Karim Abuzaid, this is my favorite of all the books he's written. This is my favorite so far. And we will be covering steps 6 and 7, how to keep nurturing the tree, the roots of the tree of Tawheed, so that our tree that we have planted within our heart can remain strong and weather the storms and the environment, the weather that it is faced with. Okay, everybody can see it. And let me put this down too to make it so that nothing is in the way. Yeah, that's how the book looked it's on Amazon. The book is $14.95. Inshallah, you can buy this book off of Amazon. And this is, again, is a continuation. This is verse 27. Everything today is relating to verse 27 of Surat Ibrahim. And then tomorrow we're going to take it from the next verses, okay? I mean, next week we will. Okay, everybody can see? Okay, you guys ready? All right, here we go. All right, and this is a picture of a tree. Those are the roots of the tree. I tried to find a picture of a tree that shows the roots, the trunk, and the fruit at the top, which are the leaves. All right, so even the strongest of trees needs constant care. A tree, no matter how tall, no matter how fruitful, no matter how firmly rooted it is, it cannot survive without both protection and nourishment. And neither can your faith, guys. Remember, this is the parable. This is the metaphor that Allah is using in this surah of the Quran. He's using the metaphor. He's comparing a tree to your faith. Your faith, it has taken root in your heart, just as a tree has taken root in the ground. And so just as the shahada, the testimony of faith, begins with the negation of la ilaha illallah, which means there is no deity other than Allah. That clears the heart of any falsehoods, and it nourishes the heart with the truth. So too must the tree of Tawheed be tended to in that same way. Protection is futile. Protection comes first. So the roots, the trunk, and the branches of the tree must be guarded. The tree of Tawheed that is planted in our hearts, it must be guarded against corrosion, against invasion, and against decay. We have to constantly protect the tree of faith in our heart from invasion. Invasion against what? Against polytheism, against shirk, against disbelief. We have to prevent our roots from decaying, prevent the trunk from becoming hollow in faith. So we have to keep it nourished. How do we prevent this? By constantly nourishing the roots. We have to be consistent. We have to be deliberate, and we have to be life-giving in sustenance that allows every part of the tree in our heart to grow and thrive and bear the fruit of faith. So the tree of Tawheed does not stop growing once its roots have settled in our heart. Its trunk has risen, and its fruits have appeared in our character, but we have to continuously nurture it. We have to be diligent in protecting it. We have to protect the tree within, and we have to protect the tree without too, so that it can stand tall for the whole duration of our lifetime and even beyond. All right? So what are we protecting the tree of faith in our heart from? Well, we're protecting its environment. How do we protect it? Through dawah and through social clarity. Remember, true dawah is not from what you say, it's from your actions. That's why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us to hold ourselves accountable before we speak. Hold ourselves accountable before we do an action, and then hold ourselves accountable after we speak. Hold ourselves accountable after we commit an action. So think before you speak. And then after you speak, think and ask yourself, was what I said worthy of being said? Should I have said it? Was it the right thing to say? Did I present it correctly? So that way, if you said something you shouldn't have said, you can go and apologize and make amends for it. The same with our actions. So even the healthiest tree will struggle in a polluted environment. So to preserve your Tawheed, the believer must tend to the garden around the tree of their home, their community, and their public voice. And how do we do this? This is done through enjoining the good, using wisdom and compassion. It's also done by forbidding what's bad and dirty, staying away from injustice, and by staying away from sins. And it's also done by calling others to Allah, not only for your benefit or for their benefit, but to protect yourself from your erosion of values. A lot of people ask me, why is it that I give dawah every day? Why is it that I just don't teach Islam like some of these other people once a month or once every 2 weeks? I can't do that. Are you crazy? I have to call others to Allah for myself. When I'm teaching you guys, I'm also reminding myself. I don't want to remind myself to fear Allah once a month. What am I going to do the other 29 days of the month? I'm reminding myself to fear Allah every day of the year, not just 2 times out the year. This is my way of keeping my tree healthy. I don't want the tree of Tawheed in my heart to become corrupted and polluted. I don't want to become a hypocrite. Teaching you is teaching me. Reminding you, I'm reminding myself. I don't have anything else to do. What am I supposed to do? Go and have a henna party? What am I supposed to do? Go out in the streets and hang out at the mall like a lot of women do? Backbiting, slandering, gossiping, flirting with men, picking up men, sit on the internet talking to a bunch of men who are not mahrams to me to make me feel good like a lot of you sisters do? No. I teach Islam every day, because this is how I protect my space from erosion of values. Subhanallah. So just as the weeds of a garden must be pulled out in order for the trees to flourish, falsehood must be challenged for faith to thrive. And Prophet Abraham alayhi salam is an excellent example of this. He didn't just nurture his tree once a month. He didn't nurture his tree of Tawheed in his heart once every 2 weeks. No. He did it every day of the year. And so did his wife Sarah too, by the way. Just like our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his wife Khadijah. What is it that made Khadijah radiyallahu anha one of the most perfect women ever created? What is it that made Mary one of the most perfect women ever created? What is it that made Asiya and Fatima two of the most perfect women ever created? They didn't earn that title by nurturing their Tree of Tawheed once every other week or once a month. They earned that title by nurturing their Tree of Tawheed every day of their life. Okay? When you look at Prophet Abraham alayhi salam, he nurtured Tawheed within his society, his home, and everywhere else. He stood up against his father's idolatry with tenderness and the truth. He stood up against his people's culture with reason and clarity. He stood up against tyrants like Nimrod with courage and firm resolve. When you look at Khadijah radiyallahu anha, she did the same thing. When you look at Mary, the same thing. When you look at Asiya, the same thing. These people stood up against this stuff every day of their lives, not once every 2 weeks, not once a month. Again, you want to have a Tree of Tawheed. This is a 24-hour job, sisters and brothers. This ain't a once a month job. Okay? Every debate that these people had to deal with was a branch of growth. Every stand that they took was a leaf unfurled. Prophet Abraham, alayhi salam, he knew that to protect the tree within his heart, he had to cleanse the soil around it. And when the land became too hostile, what did he do? That's when he migrated. He left. He left behind the poison soil for a place where his tree could grow freely. And again, everybody's situation is different. Mary left too. Mary left too. She had to leave too, due to her circumstances. Sarah, who was Abraham's wife, she left with her husband, Abraham. Okay? So some of us have to leave, nurturing that Tree of Tawheed, depending on where you are in your faith. Some of us are alone, like I am. Okay, I don't have a husband with me. Khadijah, radiyallahu anha, she didn't have a husband. In the beginning, she was by herself. Then when she did have a husband, her husband was a prophet. They worked together to plant the Tree of Tawheed. Sarah had a husband, but she and her husband was Abraham. They worked together to plant that Tree of Tawheed. Asiya was alone because her husband was a tyrant. Fatima, radiyallahu anha, she worked together because her father was a prophet and her husband was a companion to plant that Tree of Tawheed. That was a 24-hour job. I'm alone. I ain't got no husband. I can't take a break. I'm a daya. I'm a caller to the truth. I'm calling the people back to the traditional Islam with the understanding of the original companions, not a maktab, not an imam. not the scholars of today. I'm alone. I'm alone. I'm alone. I'm the blackbird with the red beak. I can't afford to take a day off, because if I take a day off, Shaitan would move in. Okay? I don't have no help. I don't have a husband to pick me up, to defend me, to support me. Most men want to take me down. Most men want to help Shaitan to take me out. And if I had a husband, he'd be too ashamed to admit that he is my husband, because that's just the world we live in. Most men don't want to own up to a woman being strong like me. Okay? They'd rather have a weak woman that's too weak to even acknowledge herself. So I can't afford to take a month off. So we have to work hard. We have to work hard to protect your tree from erosion of values. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. And they planned, talking about Prophet Abraham, alayhi salam, and they planned to harm him, but we made them the worst of losers, and we saved him and his nephew Lot to a land we had blessed for all people. That's what happened to Abraham. Abraham had to leave his country. Just him, his wife, and his nephew Lot. And they had to move to a whole different part of the world because their entire country people turned against them. Okay? So they could maintain their tree of Tawheed within their heart. Subhanallah. That's the sacrifice the believers have to make. So this is not just a historical note. This is a reminder that migration, calling others to the truth, and struggling in the way of Allah are not just competing paths. They are all part of the same sacred mission to protect and pass on the legacy of Tawheed. Most people today, most Muslims today are not willing to make that type of sacrifice for Tawheed. But there's a few of us that are. And for those of us like myself who are willing to make that sacrifice, I could care less what people say about me spending all my time in the way of Allah teaching Islam. I'd rather do this than be at a henna party, than be out shopping in the streets, than be sitting around watching TV, than be sitting around wasting my time and my life in this dunya and end up in my grave in a boiling pot of hot water like most of the people will be in the hellfire. Okay? So, how do we nourish the roots of our tree? How do we keep that tree nourished for our lifetime endeavor? Well, we nourish the roots of our tree through reflection and revelation. The roots of faith, we have to feed them through two continuous sources: by reflecting upon Allah's creational signs, like we talked about earlier today, the stars, the sun, the moon, the different seasons, the human body, all the signs that Allah has here on earth. These are signs, as he says in the Quran, for those of us who believe in him to reflect upon. So if we reflect upon the creation of Allah, These are signs for those of us who believe in him. Signs that there is no power, there is no might other than Allah. That not only is he the creator of all of this, but from him have we come, and unto him we all shall eventually return back to. And whatever choices we've made in this world, we have to answer for. So that's how we feed the roots of our tree. And also we feed the roots of our tree through the knowledge of Allah's signs, the revelational signs, knowledge of the Quran, learning the Quran and its meaning, learning Allah's names and attributes, learning the hadiths of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The hadiths are the things that the Prophet Muhammad said, learning the things that he said and the things that he did, learning his guidance, his legacy. These two things will help to nourish the root of the tree in our heart. It will deepen our sincerity towards Allah. It will strengthen our love for Allah, and it will keep our hearts alive with meaning. It will keep our hearts alive in remembrance of what our purpose is, of what we were created to do here in this world. So that's how we keep the roots of the tree of our heart, nourished. And then we have to work on strengthening the trunk, because Allah tells us in the Quran that just because we say we believe in him is not enough. He's going to test us with everything we love: our children, our husbands, our wives, our jobs, our money, our life, our health. So we have to strengthen our trunk. The trunk are the actions. And how do we strengthen our actions? We strengthen our actions by obeying Allah. And obedience comes through love and submission to him. So the trunk represents obedience. But you can only obey someone if you love them. So we have to work on developing that love for Allah. And again, as we develop knowledge of him, that's when the love for him grows. And as your love for Allah deepens, you will find yourself eager to please him. You will find yourself wanting to submit to him. And you will find joy in carrying out his commands. And you will find yourself not wanting to earn his anger. And the more love that fills your heart, you begin to taste the sweetness of faith. And the more sincerity develops in your heart, the stronger the trunk of your tree becomes, because the better your actions become. You'll stop smoking, stop drinking, you'll stop partying, you'll stop fornicating, you'll stop disobeying Allah, and the branches of your tree become stronger, and the character of yourself becomes better. Okay? And that's why our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that faith is not fed by emotions alone. He taught us that faith is sustained by rhythm. Just as a tree needs sunlight and water and pruning, he taught us that the soul needs daily worship. The soul needs prayer. The soul needs remembrance of Allah. The soul needs weekly revivals. That's why it's important to attend the Jummah prayer. That's why it's important to fast during the month of Ramadan. That's why it's important to come to my classes every day, because these are gatherings of remembrance of Allah, because you're learning about Him. You're learning His religion correctly. That's why it's important to do voluntary deeds like giving and charity. That's why the Prophet taught us, to be kind in your speech and to have patience. We have to remember that any good deed that we do is an act of charity, and charity makes the soul stronger, because the charity is like adding water to the root of your tree, and that strengthens the trunk and makes the fruit that comes from the branches sweeter. And once the fruit becomes sweeter, the trunk will begin to grow taller and reach the sky. And that's the legacy of Prophet Abraham. And the best trees don't just survive. The best trees, they grow and they give. After the roots have dug deep into the earth, the trunk will stand tall in obedience, and the branches will stretch upward towards the sky. That's the tree of Tawheed. And that's why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam once asked his companions, tell me, what tree resembles the Muslim? He said its leaves never fall and it bears fruit in every season. And the answer was the date palm tree. Because the date palm tree stands tall, strong, and firm. Its branches reach towards the sky, and it bears fruit all year round. And it weathers the heat. It weathers the storm. It's resilient. That's how we're supposed to be, guys. And that's how the true Muslim is, the true believer. The true believer's faith never withers. The true believer's faith reaches upward, and his actions always bear fruit, and his presence benefits all who comes close to him. That tree reaches the heavens. That tree's fruits reaches upward towards Allah. That was the tree of Prophet Abraham. That tree grew so tall that Allah declared Prophet Abraham as his intimate, beloved friend. How many of us could ever earn such a title where Allah would refer to you or me as being his personal friend? And why was Abraham honored so? Because his tree of Tawheed was rooted in knowledge of Allah. His tree of Tawheed was nurtured with sincerity. His tree of Tawheed was strengthened through sacrifice and crowned with devotion to Allah. And his faith didn't remain private. He lived it. He walked it. He proclaimed it, and he suffered for it. He prayed for it, not just for himself, but for his future generations too. And Prophet Abraham's tree didn't just reach the sky. His tree changed the world. His tree became a legacy. How many of us can say that our Tree of Tawheed is a legacy? That's what we should hope for. That's what we all should want for. We should all hope that we leave behind a legacy, such as the legacy that Prophet Abraham alayhi salam left behind. But the chances of us doing that are slim. So I'm going to stop right here. The next time we meet for this class, which will be next weekend, we're going to cover the next verses. We're going to break down the meaning of those next verses. And we're going to speak about the tree of shirk. The next verses that Allah mentions, he goes into the parable of the tree of shirk. We spent the past 2 weeks talking about the tree, the parable of the tree of Tawheed. We're going to talk about the tree of shirk. And then afterwards, I want you guys to ask yourself and be honest with yourself. Which tree do you have? Which tree have you planted thus far in your heart? Are you living as if you have the tree of Tawheed? Or are you living as if you have the tree of shirk in your heart? All right. Any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? And by the way, guys, I'm gonna put I did get the people who made the donations. Evidently, they were just making donations for the website. They're not looking for a specific topic, so I'm gonna make the proposal again. Anyone who would like to donate $100, because we need 4 topics. Well, I got 1 topic. Anyone who would like to make a topic for the Ask Sister Laila live show for this month, if you make $100 donation, you can choose whatever topic you would like for the Ask Sister Laila live show for this month. I got 1 topic already for this week, but for the next 3 weeks, whoever makes a donation first, I'll put it in that order. For the next 3 weeks coming up, whatever topic you want for the Ask Sister Laila live show, all you have to do is make a donation of at least $100 for this month. And that way we'll have, and it can be whatever you want. I know a lot of you are going through personal problems in your life. It could be marital problem or divorce problem. It could be about sexual abuse, whatever's going on in your personal life. I know a lot of you have a hard time. Nobody talks about those type of issues. I don't have a problem talking about it. I'll tell you about it based on the Quran and Sunnah. I'll even give you examples from the companions as to how the companions dealt with those type of issues. All you have to do is make a donation of $100 or more, and you'll be able to pick whatever topic you want for the Ask Sister Laila live show for this month. This Friday's topic is taken. And by the way, Norto, let me know. You haven't sent me what you want it to be. I mean, you told me mental health, but that's a broad topic. I mean, I just retired from that field. What area of mental health? What do you want to know? Let me know so I can get that jingle out by tomorrow. Okay, but anybody else? Because the other people that did send the money in, they said that they don't want a topic. They just made donations. So if you guys want a topic, here it is. 3 people. The first 3 people that make $100 donation can choose whatever topic you want for the Ask Sister Laila live show. I'll do it just like I did this past Fridays on what happens in the grave. We had a good talk about what happens in the grave. You see how I did that? I talked about the punishments of different sins you die upon in that grave. Oh yeah, scary, but true. So please donate. You can donate using Zelle, PayPal, or Cash App. We prefer Zelle because Zelle doesn't charge any money. And that's the email address that I put on the ticker for Zelle, Laila at SunnahFollowers.net. And by the way, if you do make $100 donation, send it to my personal email. My personal email is Laila Nasheeba. I'm going to put it on here at gmail.com. The Laila at SunnahFollowers is our business email. The personal email comes directly to me. Yes, and we are a nonprofit organization. Y'all know that already. Yeah. So like whatever you want, it could be about drug abuse, how to handle drug abuse, sexual molestation, everything based on Islam. And I'll give y'all the answers based on it, Quran and Sunnah, and I'll even give you examples from the companions. Oh yeah. There's nothing y'all can ask that they didn't have a problem with or they didn't deal with. Oh yeah. Bukhari Muslim. You know me, I'll keep it real. And I'll have Sheikh Morsi on standby like I did the question of the great. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, the people that sent it in, they were just donating. They didn't want to top it, except for Norto. And I'm waiting on her. Norto, I got to get that video out by tomorrow. So send me your info.
Layla Bell, I have to tell you, I'm really enjoying this book. I wish you was doing it more than just Saturday and Sunday.
I told y'all this is my favorite. I love this.
I can see why. It's really touching. You know, it really touches your heart and makes you really think.
I told Dr. Karim Abuzaid that this is the best that he's put out for me so far.
Right.
I love teaching this and I love the play with it. I just this is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yes, I love this. And I told him that you guys are enjoying it too. Now he put a new one out too. After we finish this one, he got a new one he put out called about the Maqasidic Tafsir of Surat Al-Hijra. I'm gonna do that one too. After we finish this one, I'm gonna do his new one he put out called the Maqasidic Tafsir of Al-Hijra.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna and that one I think is done like this too. So I'm going to do that one. And he got a new book out. A lot of you asking me about the grave. I'm going to do his book on the souls too.
Okay.
I'm going to do that one too. So that's going to be another one. I'm going to so we got 2 new books that he just put out. I'm going to teach them too.
Okay.
Yeah. I love his books, but this is my favorite. This one, y'all know I love to teach about death. They always say I'm morbid. I ain't morbid. I just love to remember death. That's what makes me keep myself in the house. You know, T, but you my best friend. You know I like to remember death.
And you know, and believe it or not, it's so easy to fall into sin when you're out in the world. It could be just little things, you know, that you really don't think anything about. You know, you talking with, you know, the non-Muslim people, things like that. Before you know it, somebody come up behind you, give you a hug, and you know, there you are, like, oh, you know, but you keep on talking, you don't really address it, you know, or either you know, say things, little things that you normally wouldn't say amongst a Muslim, but you feel comfortable saying it when you're with non-Muslim people, you know.
And you know, that's my problem. My problem is that in lowering my gaze.
Girl, tell me about
you know my problem, Tiba. And I got a problem with my gay. And young boys like Laila Nasheeba. So Laila Nasheeba stay home.
Yeah.
Because the young boys like Laila. Especially them Italian stallions.
Yeah.
Italian hey. So I stay home. Laila got a problem lowering her gaze.
Right.
With young men.
And it's real easy to do that, you know, to have a little trouble with that. You know, you look and your eyes go to the wrong parts of people's bodies.
Girl, tell me about, especially in the summertime.
But you know, these folks don't have no shame in their game. You see everything.
Everything. These men and these young, and I'm gonna tell y'all, Kafir men like Muslim women. Oh yeah. Don't put me and Tiva together.
Had on my little TikTok veil and the little guy was like, oh yeah, mama, I like that. You know.
They come up to Muslim women. Oh, oh, you look good. Oh yeah. Oh, you Italian stallion. Oh, check him out. Lower that gaze.
Yeah, you'll be in trouble in a heartbeat.
That's why I stay home.
Be very careful when you're out in the world.
I stay home in the house.
Yeah, but this was a very good class. You know, and this analogy or parable to the tree it makes you understand more, you know, or understand better, I guess is what I'm looking for.
Yep. And that's why I teach every day of the week. I teach.
And just the other day, I seen you clear that up. The other day, I'm like, she don't sit her butt down and quit teaching every day. But now that you just,
that's why I teach.
You said this before, but you know, you just kind of reiterated it today. I'm like, yep, see, that's why I stopped.
That's why I teach every day of the week, y'all, because if I wasn't teaching, what would I do? I'd go pick up my girl, her. That's my real best friend. Her and my other one, Aisha. Don't put us together, the three of us.
And see, we have not gone to have lunch with her before. Supposed to go to lunch with her before I go back to work.
Yep. Don't put the three of us together, married or not.
Yeah.
Us three married women or single women, we don't care. Don't put us together. We trouble.
Yeah.
We attract attention. Bad, bad, bad. I'm the bad one. Layla's the bad one.
Always doing something. Always doing.
It's me.
It's more saying something than doing.
It's me. I'm the bad one. So I'm teaching all the time. I'll be out in the street and it's nothing but trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble. So stay on the internet teaching, making videos, remembering Allah. Staying out of trouble. Or I'm with my grandkids or something. That's a good thing. Be with your grandkids.
Yeah, we had our little back to school, back to work party today.
Girl.
Yeah. And I feel like I ran a race and I didn't.
What's Ayub doing?
He was over here today. You have to look on Facebook. I posted we had the what do you call it? The sack race and the
y'all had a good time.
Yeah.
Did Aisha come?
No, I just had just immediate kids. I wasn't trying to make it big or, you know, we still ended up with extra people popping through.
Girl.
And Belinda's grandson came.
Oh, wow. It was a family affair.
Yeah, old Johnny.
Lord have a mercy. Well, I've been here just sitting up here making these videos all day, staying out of trouble. Staying out of trouble. I took the garbage out, and one of the neighbors said, "You look awfully good in that."
See? and I got garbage in my hand.
I'm holding garbage bags. You look awful good in that blue.
That is a pretty color on you. And yesterday, that was both times you had on that blue. That's a pretty color.
Everybody say I look nice in blue, and I don't like blue, but they say I'm nice in blue. I lowered my gaze and kept it walking. He was Somalian too. I kept it walking. One of them curly haired Somalian men, looking like Norto. I kept it moving. Yeah. SubhanAllah. Yeah, SubhanAllah. Yeah, guys, please support this dawah effort, guys. We need those donations to pay these website expenses. I got to put out that video tomorrow for the Ask Sister Laila live show on Friday. And Tomorrow is my. Oh, this is what I went to ask y'all. AY, when is Dr. Asim's class? When did he change? It's not tomorrow, is it?
Yes, it is. Monday.
Oh God, he's Monday.
12 p.m. Yes, at 12 p.m.
Okay, tomorrow, guys. Don't forget Dr. Asim's class. It's at 12, right? Yeah, 12 Eastern Standard. Oh God, I gotta do a thing for him tonight. We got Dr. Asim at 12. We got Dr. Dramali, Dr. Muhammad Ziyad. That's tomorrow too? Muhammad Ziyad?
Yes, at 7. Yes, at 7 p.m.
Okay, Muhammad Ziyad is at 7. And then I got the Riyadh Salihin at 9:30. Okay. I'm gonna try to write in my book tonight. Okay, guys, let me log out. Please send in some donations so we can get these bills up. That's due the 1st of the month. They're just gonna come out tomorrow. Get them paid. All right. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Oh God, that's tomorrow. We got Dr. Asim.